I got your drugs. Here.
Ah, the charmer. Welcome back. Drink, chat, or business?
The thing that...
All of the above?
I've got your magic pills. These things are dangerous, you know.
More or less dangerous than a steady supply of alcohol.
Okay, well, I'm balanced. Alongside with, that can be a problem, though.
Ooh, that hits the spot. Right in the, oh, no, there it is. There it is. Yes. We're in business. Let's go.
You, lady, have a problem. Glad to have you. Okay.
Great. Where to?
Let's find the information broker.
Oh, Hiram? I ain't checked in on that man in an age.
Wow, she did actually
He's running
sober
a
up.
giant radio
That
tower
stuff is amazing.
lovingly called Devil's Peak. We'll be going south and west, mostly along the road till we're past Fallbrook.
I think I have to stop in at Fallbrook.
Slope that'll lead us through some fun. You like hunting, right? That's fun. A few more of us will
Okay.
Rotting River will take you into the mountain caverns. We can discuss options when we get closer. That said, three's already a crowd. I don't mind waiting somewhere until you got a spot open.
Oh, are you a companion? I've got a shit. Do I have to? Oh, I didn't know I was hiring a companion. Oh, all right. It seems a bit quick, but very well. Don't I have some other stuff to do? I want to go talk around town. I'll tell you what. I'll send you to... I need the vicar with me, I think. I should have Felix. I don't want to ditch him just yet. But I might have to send Felix back and grab Nyoka. Apparently I've hired a friend. Okay, go to the... I've got a ship at the docking bay if you want to wait there.
As long as you've got my back, I'll have yours.
Wow, okay.
Welcome to the unreliable crew.
A ship? Well, look at you. I'll find a spot there to call my own for now. Find me when you're ready.
Okay. One for all. I've recruited all of the companions. Right. I think I wanted to go speak with the... I wanted to... I thought I was going to speak with some of the, with the guy who's in charge, Mr. Sanjia. Or Sanjia? I might have to go back to Scylla soon. Okay, check with Celia. Right, the Grim tomorrow. I might go and do that. Speak with the information broker at Devil's Peak. Now that's outside, right? Where is that? That's there. Okay, and that's just over here. I'll pop in here, and I want to do this first. And then I'll have to run back to the ship and grab Nyoka. And then we'll go do it. I think I'll leave Felix here. Vicar and I have got some business at Fallbrook. Right? It's at Fallbrook, right? Double check. Yeah, Fallbrook. I wanted to run with you two. I don't... MSI recruit. Okay. What is that thing? That's... Okay. Quite the gun. That looks complex. That's gonna... Imagine cleaning that. Imagine disassembling and having to clean that. That would be a nightmare. There's...
Get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir.
This is giving away advances. Well, you know, it's like, it's nice of him, but he also has to, you know, keep an eye on his own profits. But I get the feeling this guy's gonna be a gentle soul. How do you do, Sanjan Nandi? Nandi?
New business turns up at last.
I probably meant to speak with Celia, didn't I?
Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
I meant to talk to with her. But I want to talk to him first.
Not quicken the pulse. How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
Okay, maybe not so much.
Often posed these very questions.
He's
Look at my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
How do you do? That's very generous of you.
Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
but not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself?
I'm just looking for the information broker.
Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate. But if you're here for him, I suppose that means you aren't here for Saltuna.
Afraid not.
Oh, a shame. I'd been saving a bottle of iceberg-aged whiskey for an occasion like this.
He's like what?
I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board.
You're trying to draw the corporations back. Or do they? I think they want to split the board, but there's a... Oh, I'm not sure. What exactly are you hoping to accomplish?
Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
Sounds like you're freer than anyone else in Halcyon. Why not embrace it?
You talk like Graham.
Who's
Can you
Graham?
imagine why you'd sneer at the notion of a free colony? Could it be because you're an agent of the establishment?
I used to be young and idealistic too, but you can't run a city on high-minded ideals.
Exactly. Intellectualism fuels the train.
I've started a debate here.
But the tracks the train runs on are forged from practicality.
Sounds like something out of the chairman's own notes, Vic.
Yes, it's as though the good vicar has plucked the very words from my brain.
So what do you mean to do about it?
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a
Nandi.
rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
Okay, they want to restore it to the board. I thought they had a problem with the
You
board.
out of your mind? You can't just go crawling back to your old masters.
Well, we can't continue to subsist like this either.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
This lady knows what's going on.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
How long did it take you to figure out that you needed to defend your city? Okay, I'm not going to say that, but I want to bring up the fact that I appreciate the sort of sarkiness of that. I thought that MSI was looking to sort of compete with the board, not join them. I'm less enthusiastic about that. How do you mean to do that?
With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Bolt 52 sounds useful. What is it?
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
I was starting to get bored listening to you until you said the phrase extremely powerful ordnance.
It is quite the rush.
What do they need? Ordnance or ordnance? So you're just messing with me by using that term like that. Ordinance is in something
Ordinance,
that is to be
of course.
ordained.
We do things in a
Yeah.
civilized fashion. Not like Graham's iconoclasts.
Of course he wants to fight bureaucracy with paperwork. I should have known.
Okay, so Bolt 52 is a legal document. Okay. Can a legal document really be that important?
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you just crawled out from under a rock. Forms and procedures are everything in Halcyon. And this one is located in the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And these days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons.
Then I guess I'll go get your Bolt 52.
Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
perhaps I could. But I'm gonna read it first and then make my own mind up. Before I go, I need to ask you about something.
What can I do for you?
I met Grimm at the landing pad.
I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff?
He did a bang-up job.
Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes...
Least I
it
could
good
do
for
for
you.
him.
What else can I do for you?
Hey, I had to, didn't I? I have some questions about MSI in the good old days.
Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes.
How exactly did MSI get kicked off the board in the first place? And then why exactly do you want to get back on the board?
I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws.
Do you mean that you initiated your own removal from the board?
Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. Back then, it was known as Terra 1.
Which is a bit weird considering this one's a moon and Terra 2 is a planet in its own right. Terra 1 and Terra 2. No, listen, again, I'm avoiding that. What happened to the other corpse?
As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out.
That seems wise.
MSI's leadership at the time certainly thought so.
And how did that work out?
Most regard Monarch as a lost cause. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up.
Reforms are for quitters. How forward-thinking of you.
It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted,
I mean, yes.
malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms.
Using the board's own tools against them. Clever.
That's what I thought. But the senior executives laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else.
Yet here you are.
Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws.
So why do you want to rejoin them?
Was expecting the board to cut you a fair deal.
I understand the sentiment, but if we can't rely on some sort of framework, then what do we have? I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
I don't know if I'd go so far as to... Does he want to reform the board? But how? And also, like, because he won't be the only corporation on it, even if they rejoin. I agree. I think this... I think it needs a non-corporate-led government. It needs a... there needs to be a new colonial republic established here in which the corporations can act but are subservient to the laws made by a colonial constitution. I mean, this is just... Because if the corporations... Even if, like, the board is reformed... The board is reformed... The corporation's still at the head of it. And, like, functionally, constitutionally. Whereas, not like in the way that people say that Western democracies are run by corporations. Because, look, a lot of that rhetoric from those political circles, and you know what I'm talking about, often actually miss real physical change that is made by the democratic process in Western countries that don't exist in a lot of other parts of the world. And part of the reason this kind of rhetoric is spouted is often to disincentivize voting, because for some revolutionary-minded people, let's just say what they are, the worse things get, the better it is for their cause. That's not to say that they don't have value, or their observations or policies don't have any genuine utility, but some of them can't see past their ultimate end goal. As for this guy, my concern is that how is he going to make... Because the purpose is accountability. How is he going to make himself? Is he accountable? And how is he going to make the board accountable? Because, on one hand, like, total authority and the absolute control that the board has over the economy is really bad. It's terrible. But anarchy isn't good either. The, whatever the iconoclast, and I still haven't gotten a, read on their position is, but if they're kind of going for this kind of like, oh, we don't need no government nonsense, then, you know, who am I supposed to support? At some point I need, you know, I don't agree with rejoining the board. Why exactly do you want back on the board? And do you plan to do something about the board?
Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources.
Yes, but that's not a good thing.
Yeah, and once you go back to him, he'll own your dignity too.
Without the board, chaos would overtake the system. Working within the established order isn't a principle to snub one's nose at, Captain.
Look.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community. Being cut off means slow strangulation.
They've treated you pretty roughly. Is it worth going back to that?
I'm not a man to put pride before progress.
Do you plan to reform the board?
The board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities.
I don't think he does.
That's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
So, in short, no. Leverage?
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes. It'll be easier to explain once we have the Bolt 52. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations.
Not without a governing body that is above and not made up of the corporations itself. There needs to be a higher political structure here. What's the hazard clause?
It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
A necessary evil for the greater good of society.
That's exactly
Mika Max is a big
how the
fan.
board describes it.
Yeah. And they invoked it on Monarch.
Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way.
You don't seem to think much of Graham.
He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If anyone on Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us, it's them.
Wanna guess there's something
I will
else
admit, I am keen to meet their leader.
to the Iconoclasts.
Well, be careful what you wish for. Graham has a habit of ruining everything and everyone around him.
Sounds like there's something personal there. You've got strong feelings on the matter.
I'm trying to build something here. They only want to destroy things, and they risk ruining Monarch for all of us. It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels, and pushes us further from the rest of the colony.
So, what's the downside?
Shall I begin with the supply shortages, or the subtle but constant threat of annihilation? He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
The Earth Directorate. What presence does Earth have in this colony? Because it doesn't seem to be significant anymore. They seem pretty much self-sufficient. I want to talk about something else.
Ready for you.
No, that's it. Okay. The board controls all of the resources. They control the flow of the resources. They control the people who use them and how they use them. This is a... And everything is done for the benefit of the corporations. They operate as family, at least if Space's Choice has anything to say for it. Everything is done for the good of the corporation. That is a fundamentally... I mean, first of all, it's fundamentally collectivist. It's also completely, like, totalitarian. Being part of that system wouldn't improve... Like, even if this guy intends to attempt to spread his more worker-favorable reforms, fundamentally, they still control too much of the economy with no oversight and no governing body. They are the governing body. They are fundamentally the state. Something, like a new constitution needs to be established here. That doesn't mean that we need to destroy the board. The board is neither here nor there. Something else needs to act as the legal arbiter of the governing of the colony, whilst the corporations can still do trade and stuff and extract resources, and there can still be private ownership of property, but there needs to be a democratic oversight of it. So this doesn't happen. See, this is the problem with this kind of, like, you know... This is the problem that is, like, the general argument is often pitted as, you know, evil capitalism, but it's usually just oversight and the ability for individuals to have a say in the way they are governed, not just in the fact that corporations like to make money. Making money is fine. Nothing wrong with making a bit of money. But there needs to be some accountability, and there just isn't. Alright. I needed to speak with you. I've forgotten why.
Producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon.
More salt tuna. Yeah, I think...
What can I do for you today?
Grim asked me to check in with you about his tossball poster.
You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's
Vilma.
the one to ask. She's in the warehouse.
I've heard her name.
But I'll warn you, Grim wore her patience thin a long time ago.
I didn't find a problem with Grim, but very well. Apparently everyone hates him. Overheard you say you were having money trouble.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid.
Again, no, like, Mr. Nandi seems to be a benevolent dictator, but he is still fundamentally a dictator, and that is still bad, by the way. I want to point that out. Doesn't matter how you do that. There needs to be some kind of representation and oversight here. Do you normally blow your money on Raptidon parts?
Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid tea.
Okay,
or
what...
mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really.
Why are you buying so much from Sebastian?
So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else. Sort of the strong, siren type.
Okay, but you're spending a lot of money. That's...
Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell.
Do you have to buy stuff from him to talk to him? Just ask him out on a date?
I couldn't. What if he says no? Hey, maybe you could ask him for me.
No.
I mean, a no would still be bad, but it won't be quite as embarrassing if you ask. Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly.
I can't decline
I better
your...
get back to work.
Like, I'm not asking another person out on a date for someone else. That's not how it should work. That's the... Surely that'd just be offensive to the person in question. Wait, I'm curious. What do you see in him?
He doesn't talk much, but he's got this
Is he dead?
quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard
Okay.
to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
Is he a statue or a... Do you really want to be with someone you can't talk to?
You You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny.
There are other fish. What do you mean? You're looking for... I got no idea what she's implying with that. There are other fish in the sea.
Not in Stellar Bay. Everyone else who isn't taken either smells like salt tuna or they're my boss. Besides, a man with a good smile and a proportionate upper to lower body ratio isn't something to pass up.
I get the feeling this Sebastian guy is either like a corpse or an animal or a statue or something. I don't know. That's all I need to know.
Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
Yeah, evidently. I'll talk to you later. Well, that's a strange one. I'm gonna go this way. Interesting. 2 executives of MSI. Okay. Monarch Stellar Industries, this terminal is only to be used for official communication. Well, it just so happens I'm officially in business with Monarch Stellar Industries, so I can read this. A summary for report on working on conditions within Stellar Bay. Productivity has continued to improve since relaxing MSI's old restrictions and making allowances for employee benefits such as time off, illness, and personal leave. 24% reductions in shift lengths and 53% more positive feedback. Sorry, 52.3% more positive feedback. Fishery output is up 15.2% this year, showing a contributing but slowing growth trend. Decreased gains compared to previous years are likely due to the deterioration of materials and morale, occasional shortfalls in our supply, and the gradual loss of personnel to marauders, 7.2% defense, hostile wildlife, 10.3%, and iconoclast recruitment, 17.4%. Reconciliation with the board remains a long-term goal, but the immediate concern is defending the city from hostile elements. Repairing damage to the city walls consumes approximately 32.8% of our annual budget. The best solution would be an influx of skilled defenders and weaponry, but given the aforementioned factors and their effects on the local population, such a solution remains unlikely. Working slogans. MSI, our profit margins are stellar. MSI Saltuna, 43.28% more nutrient dense than the leading brands. Stellar Bay, a tolerable center of commerce in a hostile and chaotic galaxy. Okay, I think that's... Yep, we've read that now. Oh. Notes for revisions. Your report looks excellent. The numbers are front and center, and you highlight our recent production gains nicely. One small adjustment. Could you increase the page margins by 17.3%? I want them to match the formatting of our other reports for maximum readability. Okay, he likes a, you know, neat, you know, orderly system of filing. Everything, you know, you want everything to be uniform if you can help it. Otto, I've been checking your hours, and you're well past due for some time off. Why don't you take a few days? You spend entirely too much time staring at that terminal. Again, okay, I want to discuss this. These reforms are... Like, and I'm not OSI Puzzle Cube. As I've said, I lean towards the liberal side when it comes to economics. But even I have to admit that generally when worker-centric reforms are introduced, they're introduced due to the efforts of workers fundamentally through unions. And while I don't think unions are an unmitigated good, they are a general good. But top-down implementation of pro-worker policy is unheard of? Might be well... It took a lot of social effort to get them implemented. And when they were implemented, they did good. There are genuine economic benefits to treating your workers not like total shit. But to get that through some people's heads took effort and activism. Alright. Let's go have a chat with Nyoka and then I'll head to...
Felix and the vicar are arguing again.
Oh god. Really? I thought it was Ellie and the vicar were arguing. Apparently Felix isn't a big fan of him either.
You don't think that's a problem? The whole ship's running on a computer's fancy.
Don't be robo-racist to Ada.
No, Felix. The concept of a ship computer does not make me nervous. Are you scared of Ada?
I ain't scared of Ada.
Good. I'm glad we cleared that up.
It's just, she's a computer, Max. What happens when her equations tell her to
How
cut off our
dare
options
you?
or blast us all into
What if
space?
you do that? You could pull out your gun and shoot me in the head right
She's
now.
not sentient. She can't act out of a sense of malice. Where do you get these ideas?
I was watching true stories of mechanical murderers last night.
One of these days, I'm going to make you read an actual book.
Oh, actually, no, I think they do kind of get on. They have a difference of opinion. But don't be robo-racist. Hello, Sam. Goodbye, Sam. Hello, Nyoka. Made yourself at home already? I hope... I don't have that much alcohol, but you're welcome to it, and... Nice mug, by the way. I want to get one of those.
Hey, Cap.
You getting along?
I'm still not quite sure what to make of that Max fellow. Sometimes he reminds me of Anders, and the way he stares at things, as if he's gonna dismantle them.
He is a very
Shit.
intense
Can we dredge
vicar.
more bygone days? Forget I said anything.
Nope, not letting this one go. Who's Anders?
Don't push it, Captain.
Oh, she didn't like that. You brought him up, so it's not my fault. Okay, I'll talk to her later. God, you really already set your shit up? You're, like, okay. I was half considering kicking Nyoka off our crew the minute we don't need her. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I should have I've got everyone now. Maybe I should just roll with it. You alright, Felix?
Good to see you, boss.
Good to see you too. Never mind, I don't want to part ways. I was just checking if there was any more dialogue. Alright. Thank you. Okay, not Felix. Vicar and Nyoka. Vicar seems to have something of a, difficulty with the other crew. He's the most pro-board of all of this. Like, everyone else, except for Sam. Sam doesn't seem to have many opinions apart from that he doesn't like germs. But everyone else seems at least vaguely, like, anti-board. I mean, Pavati's more sort of naively... like... She doesn't want to be seen as causing a fuss, but she certainly doesn't seem friendly with their ideals, just, like, sort of used to how everything works. Before I go anywhere, I want to see if I can see those UDI gunships. Hang on, let me get to my room. Also, I want to check my terminal. I think I checked that recently enough. That's not a problem. I can't see the gunships. I thought they keep mentioning it. There should be at least 3 little warships just floating out there. Be nice to have a look at, but apparently they're not going to let me see it. Do I have anything that needs to be dropped off? Transfer. Oh, I think I need... No, I don't, do I? I have a helmet on me. I have 2 sets of armor. Yeah, that's what I did wrong. Okay. So what one mistake I made is that now I've only got 2 sets of elite troop armor. Which is a problem, because I needed 3. 1 for me and 1 for each of my companions. But I've only got 2. Because I can't count. Or what I did was I saw that I had 2 companions and kind of forgot to consider that I would need 1 for my own character as well, obviously. This one. For you, Ellie. Nyoka needs her 3 perks. Let's start with increasing your life skill. Wow, really? Okay. No, I'm good with that. How about... you do increased range damage. And let's go damage to creatures. Let's really have you hit hard at range. Pavati. Chance to extract mods in the field sounds cool. I wanna get you out there again. I wanna spend more time. But I don't. I'm kind of like I've got so many more crew members. I've just got to figure out when to run you out. Equip time, companion ability damage. Let's go with increased chance to extract mods in the field, because they're fun. Sam, I didn't even think about you. Alright, intimidate. Should it be armor rating? I can do more than one, can't I? Yes, I can. Let's have you... You can't do melee damage. Let's have you increase armor rating. Oh, wow. That's a weird... For an auto-mechanical to have increased damages to auto-mechanicals, it's a little, dark, isn't it? A little, kind of. It's like, he does more damage to his own kind. But yeah, let's do it. Okay, but it'll be, Pavadi and Nyoka. No, sorry, Max and Nyoka. Let's go. They don't get along, but I kind of want Max with. You know what, Max... Nyoka and I can have the armor. Or maybe Max and I should have the armor, and Nyoka's kind of used to all this, and... she'll be fine without it. She'll be a hunter. She doesn't need no big clunky armor. Hello, Grim. Can I give you an update? I didn't think you were as, annoying as everyone else around here thinks you are, so...
Have you had time to check on that poster yet? I keep wondering if it's come in.
I'm on it. You know, you really are a little too persistent. I'm not going to say that, because I think it might kill the, mission.
It's signed by Bertie Blackhole Holcomb.
I might have to get...
hackers who ever played tossball. Everyone's heard of him.
Okay, yeah. Why is he called Black Hole?
On account of him being the best hacker who ever played, nothing gets by him. He sucks up every ball that comes his way.
Maybe word that differently.
Holmes had a lot of nicknames over his career. He used to be the tallywhacker on account of what he'd do to the score. Before that, he was the slick stick, because his shots were always so smooth.
You're making this up.
I swear I'm not. At the start of his career, people called him the hack boss, but no one thought that was very catchy.
Or... no one thought it was enough of... euphemistic enough. There's the word I was trying to think of. Okay. I don't quite want to say that, but let's head to Bolt with his name. Okay, let's speak with the broker first. Let's do this to start. And what are we doing for Nyoka? No, actually, you know what? This will be here, won't it? Velma. You'll be in town, so I can go run to you and, deal with that.
Smells like rat in here. Oh, it does work. I bought some musk from Sebastian to cover up the salt.
Oh, yeah, it's the...
Trust me, this is work.
I was told she'd be in here. Velma and Frederick? Yeah, Halstead. You were talking with what's-her-face. A lady who was a little too friendly with me.
Hey, Velma, I got your caffeinoid pills.
You're a lifesaver. Hope Abigail didn't give you a hard time.
Just the usual. Any word on Braxton?
Nothing. Don't know how much longer I can cover for him either. Give me those pills, will you?
Here you go. You know, you might consider a real night's sleep instead.
Yeah. But you know. But yeah. Probably could do... Like, is she just dedicated or is she overworked? It doesn't seem like too many people are overworked here. They have slightly better policies. Velma Ballard.
You can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry.
Take it easy. I'm just looking around. And Catherine. Oh, no, I thought it was... No, not Celia. That's a different name. Who's Catherine?
Sorry. Seems I got my cables crossed. Thought you were another shakedown tough from Fallbrook. Hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing.
Your chief what?
Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess.
Okay. Don't you have rules about that sort of thing?
We're not keen on rules for rules' sake around here. Means Braxton skips work sometimes, but it also means no company boss is telling me when I can take a shit.
Okay.
Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra drugs he's been taking from supply. Something
dear.
else on your mind?
I'm here to ask about Grimm's poster. I take it she's not going to be very happy about this. She and Grimm don't seem to get on. At least that's the word from Celia.
This again? I swear, this is the last time I contract for any special requests. You can tell Grimm his poster came in. You can also tell him I got a better offer for it. So now it's going to Nell.
Really? Wow, that's
That
shitty.
about cover it?
You sold his poster? After he made a special order? That's kind of a terrible thing to do. That's not your poster to sell. Is it? Wait, okay, you're giving Grimm's poster away? Doesn't he pay for it?
No. I paid Sublight for it. So it's mine. And
Oh,
if Nell
okay.
pays me for it, it'll be hers. Grimm may have asked for the poster, but it's not his until I take his money.
But you agreed ahead of time to make an exchange, knowing that he was interested in it. In theory, you promised it to him. Like, there's a sort of underlying kind of, like, underhandedness of that I'm not a fan of. Who's Nell?
She runs the betting parlor across the way. Nice professional lady.
I have to buy this.
She asked me about the poster once. Just once. Made a real generous offer, too.
She does sound easier to deal with.
I don't have time for Grimm, even when I'm not working doubles.
You still have the poster, right?
It's staying locked up in my office until Nell shows with her money.
Surely we can work something out, or could I go and steal it?
Sure can. If you want to pay me more than Nell's offering.
859 bits. Persuade 35, work with me. I'm helping you to find Braxton, aren't I?
Sure. And once you finish helping me, then we can talk about the poster.
Okay. Let's talk about something
Fine
else.
by me.
There was some other dialogue options. What's this thing about your foreman?
Caleb Herrick runs the autoloader operators. He thinks I don't pay them enough for flipping switches and turning dials.
The
He and his
autoloaders?
whole crew walked out. Say they won't come back unless I pay them more.
Wait, hang on. The autoloaders or the workers operating on the autoloaders? Because what would the autoloaders do with money? Why don't you just pay them more?
Because we've got a budget, alright? And in case you haven't noticed, MSI doesn't exactly have a lot of spare bits on hand.
I'll talk to Caleb for you.
You mind slapping him around a little while you're at it?
No, I'm not doing that.
I'm joking. Mostly. Unless you can do it without hurting his job performance. If you can find a way to get him back to work, I'll make it worth your while. Check the yacht club. He's usually there.
You said Braxton had been stealing drugs.
Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed the sterile biotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton's shifts.
Okay. Awfully nice of you not to say anything.
We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed.
Has he been using them or
Besides,
selling
The
them?
Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to get this all tuna, fat, and mostly tumor-free.
And who's this Catherine you mentioned when I first came in here?
Sublight boss out of Fallbrook.
That's the
Has
one
a
that
spacer company
Hagen wants
or
me to go
out of
talk to.
Silver Bay. Has a mouth like a ground six spacer.
I don't know what that means. Alright, talk to you later. Frederick, can I talk to you?
Velma's not so bad, as long as you avoid it when she's stressed.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. There was a light pistol Mark II. Ooh, some right control armor. People are gonna see me steal this, aren't they? Let's try looking in here. I kind of need an extra piece of armor. There's a bunch of stuff around here. Vending machine discovered. Good. Good, good. Bathroom discovered. I don't get experience points for that. Jeweled ring. Elite troop armor gold. Don't notice this. I shouldn't. I shouldn't be stealing. I'm trying to be a good guy, but on the other hand, you know. I mean, surely I'm gonna find some of this. What's the weight? 5. Same as the rest of the armor. Yoink.
Hey, that's against regulation. What do you think you're doing?
I didn't. Wow. I was just leaving.
I don't have time for this.
Wow, I didn't expect them to come in, and I just persuaded my way out of it. Wow, they chose a bad time to steal stuff. Why is that stuck there? Hold on, I need something to look at. I got away with it. But there's now something attached to my screen. Okay, now it's gone away. Never mind. I'm gonna leave. Nobody... They came in at exactly the wrong time. That's completely unfair. Everything was completely above board when I stole it.